All right, so finishing our unit on the beginnings, acquire foundational knowledge of promotion to understand its nature and scope. So we talked about promotion and just the main thing to take away from that, we're just trying to communicate whatever it is across to our target market. We talked about that could be a politician talking to potential voters, could be a business talking about a new product they have, just any type of message that you're trying to send out to your customers about who you are, what you do, or something about you. As we talked about, there's four stages of the product life cycle: introduction, growth, maturity, and decline. And things change as you're going through because your product is in a different place. So you have to take that into account when you're putting your promotion together so that you can make sure you're reaching the proper target market. We talked about our promotional purposes: inform, we're trying to get information out there; persuade, oh, the dog says hi. Persuade, we're trying to get people to believe something that we're saying or take our views. Typically, we see that more so with politicians with persuade. And then remind, just talking about our product that it's actually out there or that our company still exists. We talked about benefits of using promotion, again, increasing sales, probably the number one, positioning, trying to get customer loyalty. And that's what we're looking for. We want customers that want to shop with us and want our product above anyone else. We talked about primary product promotion and secondary product promotion. Primary, just going to talk about again the big market, not a particular brand, just products in general. So we talk about beef versus pork, and then we talked about secondary product promotion, where we've already established what the market is, and now we can focus on our individual brand. All right, so our individual brand or specifics about us or our product, that's more secondary. Primary is just more larger scale. So we talk about institutional promotion, a lot of public service where we're trying to get that idea about who we are, all right, that we're beneficial for the community, that we care, all those things that we see, those public service announcements, public relations, and all those kind of things. Just we want to make sure that our company is viewed in a good light in the marketplace. Which brings us to today, talk about the promotional mix and what it is. So the promotional mix plays a key role in obtaining customers. And when we talk about the promotional mix, that's the combination or blend of marketing communication channels that a business uses to send its message to customers. There's a lot of different ways that we can communicate, a lot of different channels that we can use, and we have to make sure that we use several so that we can reach our target market. We don't want to rely on just one. We're going to have a multitude of different ways to talk to different people and to make sure that our message gets out and across. All right. So our promotional mix increases brand recognition. Again, we want people to know about our brand, raises product awareness, communicate product benefits. Those are things that we've talked about before, making sure people know about our product and what it is. Enables businesses to communicate effectively with the consumers. Again, that's who we're trying to get our point out to. Promoters are able to inform potential customers about the existence of goods, services, images, and ideas. Again, we're putting those things out there. All right. We want to inform people. We talked about persuade. All right. Promoters are able to persuade customers to buy their products or opinions about their products. And again, we talk about opinions more so being in the political standpoint, but also an opinion that our product is good. Promoters are able to change their promotional mix in order to keep their customers. Again, we're looking out for different people. All right. So when we talk about, there's five that we're going to talk about. All right. The first one being advertising. So this involves non-personal, right, mostly paid promotions, often using mass media outlets to deliver the marketer's message. So with advertising, we're paying. We control everything because we've paid for it. All right, got to put a space in here. So, television, radio, print, publications, internet, direct mail, signage, product placement, whether it's in a movie or something else, that's product placement, putting our product out there. Sponsorship on your mobile device, other media outlets. So, a lot of the things that we typically associate with promotion and what advertising is, television, radio, print, those were the big three for a very, very, very long time. The next one that we talk about is sales promotion. So involves the use of special short-term techniques, often in the form of incentives, to encourage customers to respond or undertake some activity. So displays, all right, coupons. That's a great sales promotion. Demonstration, instant rebates, free samples. Everybody loves free samples. Fashion show, a contest, a novelty item, trade shows. We don't see a whole lot of anymore. And exhibits at a show. So again, we're putting something out there, maybe a buy one get one free, 20% off, trying to find some way to entice the customer to try our brand. The premise here is that we're going to get a new customer to come to our brand because of our promotion. They're going to like it and they're going to stick with it even after the promotion is over. The next one that we talk about is public relations, so also referred to as publicity. This type of promotion uses third party sources and particularly the news media. to offer a favorable mention of the marketer's company or product without direct payment to the publisher of the information. So with public relations, we're looking for someone to write a nice article about us. The downfall of this is we don't control what's being written in that article. So that's the difference between advertising, where we do control the message, we control everything about it, and then public relations, where we don't control quite as much. So when we talk about public relations, we're looking for a favorable news release, appearance on a TV talk show, a feature article. These are some examples. A press conference, uh, in an internet news group, bulletin board, website. Just some essence of getting us out there. So a mention of charitable activities. That's a good one. Charitable activities and a mention of it in print or broadcast media. So again, we're trying to do something for the public so that they can see who we are and put ourselves out there. Uh, Personal selling involves personal contact between the company representative and those who have a role in the purchase decision, which is usually the consumer, or have an influence on a decision, members of a company's buying center. So those buyers, those people that we're looking for to make those decisions. So usually this is face to face or via telephone. Newer technologies allow this to occur online via video conferencing or a text chat. So something where we're talking directly to that person. All right, I'm looking for Jimmy to make a sale for Jimmy, and I'm talking to Jimmy. All right, we're not going to put something out there where he has to go find. I'm speaking directly to him, and I'm a person that's doing it. So that's the aspect of that personal selling. If the product is highly technical, requires demonstrations, expensive, right, requires installation, personal selling should be emphasized. That gives that customer that relationship that they can build upon, that rapport that they're looking for. So when we talk about things that are going to affect our promotion, a lot of things go into this. One of the main ones, the availability of our resources. So how much money and resources can we tie into this promotion? All right, that's going to make a big impact on what we're actually going to do. If you only have $20 to advertise, you're going to have to break it up because you don't want to put it all in one place. If it doesn't work, then you have nothing left to show. So we have to figure out what all we can do and where we're going to try and promote, and then start to kind of figure out what we can do with our money. Marketers with large promotional budgets may be able to spread spending among all promotion options. Marketers with limited funds may be more selective on the promotion techniques they use. So, again, promotion's a big part of it. You have to have it, but you have to figure out what's going to work best for you. That's going to be best with not only reaching your target market, but also understanding what your finances are, what your capabilities are, and what you can and can't do. We talk about company philosophy. So some follow a company that dictates where it goes, how it occurs. Some the approach should be done through salespeople. Other companies prefer to focus attention on product development. Hope word of mouth communication by satisfied customers helps create interest in their product. So what's your company feels best? Do we want to advertise? Are we the company that advertise, or do we just rely on word of mouth? I know there's a restaurant, Cheddar's. Cheddar's doesn't advertise. Right, that's a part of their company philosophy. They don't spend money on promotion. They just let word of mouth carry it around, and it's done well. They're a national restaurant, and they've spread. Right. We look at historical. So many companies rely on previous promotional efforts to determine new promotional efforts. So we look at things that we've done previously, things that might have worked, or things that we can manipulate in the future to get a better outcome. As with everything, we're going to look at competition. We want to see what they're doing, how they're using their promotional mix, what's working, what's not working. Many factors affecting the promotional mix are the same or similar effects on all businesses within the same industry. So, yeah, I sell milk, you sell milk. I'm going to look and see what you're doing. Where are you advertising? What's successful for you? What's not successful? And trying to figure out where I can make that change so that I can be successful. Competing businesses also tend to follow the leader, and this is a big one. When one restaurant offers free meals for children, you can expect competitors to follow suit, and that's something you see. I mean, people putting out a buy one get one coupon, and the competitors are going to do it too because they're trying to keep up. They don't want to lose business to the other company. One of the big aspects is we look at the different products. Different products require different promotional approaches. It definitely depends on what you're trying to advertise. That's gonna have a big implication on how you're gonna advertise, and what it is. Products falling into the convenience and shopping goods, likely to use mass market promotional approaches, and are higher end specialty goods, likely to use personalized selling. Again, those higher end, we want that connection. We want someone to talk to us about our product. We want that face to face. Part of that is that's what our expectation is that when we're buying something that's special or a high end good. Uh, Products that are complex and take customers extended time to make a purchase decision. may require personal selling rather than advertising. Again, trying to make that connection and trying to convince the buyer that, yeah, this is the right one. You see that a lot in the business world where they're dealing with big 6 and 7 figure deals. It's not a couple dollars here and there. So there's a lot of money on the line, and trying to make sure that everyone's comfortable with the decision and comfortable with the process that's going to move forward. And then as the product moves through the product life cycle, the product itself may evolve and promotional objectives will change. And we talked about that before. As we go through that product life cycle, it's going to change depending on what you're going to do. And then your promotional mix is going to change based on that. We have our target market. Customer characteristics dictate how promotion is determined. Again, depending on who you're trying to go after, that's going to have a big implication on how you're going to go after them. We talk about older people, senior citizens. Probably not a good idea to advertise on social media. They're probably not going to see it. So, trying to find a way to get something in front of your target customers. So, we look at size, location, type of target markets, affect how the marketer communicates with customers. Again, all of those play into account for how we're going to get that across, right? Where things are widely dispersed, be very expensive to utilize a sales force. Okay, if we have a big, wide geographic area that we're trying to advertise to, and they're dispersed, we can't personally sell. All right, we're not going to be able to get a person out to every single one of them, but we can use advertising to reach more people. We look at the type of consumer that's going to be use it. If we're looking at personal consumer or business and the industry, things are going to be different. All right. Again, in that industrial and business setting, probably more personal selling is going to be going on. Again, because you're dealing with larger numbers, you're dealing with more involvement and more of a commitment. So you want to make sure everybody's on the same page. The amount of consumers has an impact on it. If it's only a few, you might be able to get by with personal selling because you don't have as many people to reach. When we get more customers, we have to find more ways to reach. And personal selling doesn't really work for reaching the masses. Advertising is great from that aspect. We talked a little bit before about geographical location. How can we reach them? And the last one that we talk about is our distribution. So promotional mix selection is affected by the path a product takes. We talked about our intermediaries and our distribution channels and how we're going to get our product out to the consumer, moving through those paths. So marketing organizations selling through channel partners and reach the final customer either directly using a pull promotion strategy or indirectly using a push promotional strategy. So pull and push, these are probably the bigger ones that we look at. So pull strategy is so named since it creates demand for a product by promoting directly to the final customer in the hopes that their interest in the product will help pull, so bring more product through the distribution channel. So we're going to advertise and hope that people want it, and people are going to create that demand for it. They're going to ask the retailer to carry it, and that's what's going to pull that item into their market. The opposite, we look at push strategy, uses promotion to encourage channel partners to stock and promote the product to their customers. The idea is that by offering incentives to channel members, the marketer is encouraging their partners to push the product down the channel and into customers' hands. So again, with this one, we're going to give people a benefit, or not necessarily benefit, but give them a break, give them a better deal if they will push our product out. So I'll cut you a deal if you're going to ship it. I'll cut you a deal if you'll put it in your store. Just put it in your store. And again, the premise is that if it's out there, people are going to see it and they're going to be interested in it, going to want to come buy it. The last one that we talk about is the cost, and this can really be a whole unit unto itself. So as we talked before, one of the big impacts of promotion is the cost associated with the promotion. Um, different things you can look at. So this one is your guide to social media advertising and costs. It depends on who you're going to go with. As far as what they cost, we'll kind of scroll down. We talk about cost per click, cost per lead, cost per like. You're paying for those likes. You're paying for people to come and visit your page. Right, all of that is something that you're paying for to get people there. All right, cost per follower. A lot of terms, right, that we see. Uh, Minimum monthly budget. So this is their suggestion: $300 $900 for social media advertising, $10 to $30 per day until you figure out what you're going to go with. When we're using advertising, there's a lot of different social medias you can use. And again, it's trying to figure out which one's going to be the best for your crowd, which one's going to be the best for your target market. So Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, those are kind of the bigger ones that we see. And they all have their variations. You can see they all have different costs as far as how much they cost to use. Apologies, I didn't realize I was sharing a tab and not the window, talking to you about an article that you can't see. So again, paying cost per click. Those are the things we talked about before. So again, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, they all vary for how much they cost and what that implies. So some other ones that we're going to look at, just looking at costs. So online advertising costs in 2021, it varies even where you're at. So the average cost to reach 1,000 people with online advertising range from $3 to $10. The average cost to reach 1,000 people with traditional offline advertising, $22 and up. So it can be a lot cheaper to advertise on social media, and you can really hone in to get exactly to your target market. So here's some different costs that they're talking about. So Google search, display, Facebook, right, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, all the ones that we're used to seeing. So interesting to talk about that. It really does depend on which platform you're going to be using as far as what those costs look like. All right. And then the other one we're going to look at here. So with TV and ads, all right, TV ad costs $105,000 for a 30-second commercial on a national network. Right. So that's a lot of money to throw down. Whereas with social media, you can get by a lot cheaper. On top of that, you're looking at TV ad production, right? It can get really, really, really expensive. Now, on top of that, it also varies with where you're going to advertise at. Los Angeles, bigger city, New York City, bigger city. Again, those have a large population. You're going to be able to reach a lot of people. It's going to cost more to advertise there. Um, this is an interesting one. It costs $317,981 to air a 30-second commercial on NBC. This is Us versus on NBC's Sunday Night Football, 811,000. More viewers, more eyes, more cost. All right. So looking at different things, billboards, radios, newspaper, network, those are things that we've all kind of talked about. All right. And let's see what else I got for you guys. I think the last one that we're going to talk about, and one of the biggest commercial events and probably the most expensive for advertising, is the Super Bowl. So as you can see in 2019, 5.3 million, 2020, 5.6, 5.5, and then this year 6.5 million for a 30-second commercial. So as you're watching the Super Bowl, if you do watch it, just think about how much revenue is being generated just strictly from advertising.